Hi everyone. I'm not trying to be cool by wearing sunglasses. I had eye surgery this week, so I'm kind of light sensitive. Okay, I am Laura Sturza, and this is the Super Saleswoman, an homage to my 99-year-old mom. My mother, Evelyn, could sell anything to anyone. When I was 8, she first enlisted my help with her antiques business, convincing my school's principal that it was okay if I missed a few mornings of school each month to join her for work. Mom sold the principal on the scheme by calling our job as roving hucksters a great educational experience. Mom and I rooted through people's cast-offs at Maryland yard sales in the 1960s and 70s. Typically, there were piles of junk with the occasional gorgeous gem hidden in the mix. I might discover a bold mid-century print of abstract birds buried in a stack of scratched, unplayable record albums. We hauled our merch to weekend antique shows in Maryland, DC, Virginia, and beyond in an enormous Mercury marquee. We had the back seat removed so we could pack more merch in. I studied Mom's penchant for stretching the truth whenever she wanted to land a sale. If a prospective buyer wasn't sure about an item or they said they were just looking, Mom shifted into high gear, telling stories to make the products seem more valuable. Oh, I got that piece from a captain's wife, she said. A friend of mine once stopped by our booth at a show near a military base. My friend was awed by Mom's performance when a buyer responded with, "Which captain? I wonder if I know them." Mom didn't miss a beat. "Oh, I'm so sorry. I just don't recall. I meet so many exciting people in this business." I never knew which elements of Mom's stories were true and which were fabricated. She still insists that almost everything she said was only lightly exaggerated. Sometimes I cringed when I pictured buyers proudly recounting those tales when they showed off their purchases, but I comforted myself with the thought that customers likely enjoyed retelling Mom's stories. I hoped it helped them believe that their gems were more precious. It wasn't until I was an adult that I learned why becoming a successful saleswoman was my mother's destiny. She had grown up in the Bronx during the Great Depression, the daughter of a secondhand vacuum salesman who sold door to door to support their family of 7. Mom was the second youngest of 5 kids, but the one with the strongest sales drive at the time. So, as a child, she assisted her father, jumping in when he failed to close a sale. The pitch from his convincing daughter was so effective that buyers, they ponied up for those used Hoovers. Mom put those skills to work in future jobs. She became a saleswoman for whom no meant revving up for advanced negotiations. After her dad passed away, Mom revealed he'd been a terrible salesman. He laid it on too thick, she said. They saw his desperation. You have to reel them in with a good story. Make them believe they can't live without what you're selling. Over time, Mom parlayed her work as an antiques dealer into an enormous business, managing 30 antique shows each year, featuring up to 100 dealers at malls including Tyson's Corner Center, Springfield Mall, and Wheaton Plaza. She was an entrepreneur 50 years ago, long before it was common for women to run their own businesses. I believe she was a workaholic even before the term was coined in 1971. I wondered whether she felt that with each antique show and each dollar made, she was freed from her past and could put to rest the memories of every door that had been slammed on her and her father in their eternal climbs up the staircases of those 6-story Bronx walk-ups. But I was wrong. No matter how successful I was, it didn't erase what my family went through, she recently said. You don't forget living in poverty. It's what made me good at my work. Eventually, Mom stopped running shows, but ever the wheeler dealer, she held on to a lot of merchandise. When she was 93, she recruited my husband and me to help her unload it. He and I schlepped her things to an indoor neighborhood sale at her retirement community. There were about 40 other sellers in the large, all-purpose room. It was packed with buyers, a rowdy group of oldsters trying to score some steals. My mom is all of 5 feet, but she always upsold her height to 5 feet 2. She seemed taller when she closed a sale, which as a younger woman she had done from a standing position. But in her elder years, she did business from a chair and employed her signature loud voice. No megaphone needed. I'm closing everything out. These are worth much more than the selling price. If you see 2 necklaces you like, take 2 for $7. I didn't know the community sale we helped her run that day would be the last time I'd see Mom shine as a super saleswoman in the antiques business. Later that year, she began needing more help with everyday tasks, but resisted moving from her condo. I spent the next months employing the very techniques I'd learned from her by trying to sell her on the idea of moving. We finally settled her into an assisted living place where she could get more support. Nowadays, she uses her skills to convince fellow residents to come join her in art classes and creative writing programs. Her unfailingly optimistic attitude means that if she catches one of the staff members feeling low, she peddles her powers of positive thinking. It's the secret to my longevity, she says. Plus, my upbeat attitude helped me survive the pressures of running that business. It didn't hurt with making all that gelt either. When Mom visits our home, it is as if she's walking through a museum of her career, marveling over the antiques she scored and gave to me. While she's had some memory loss, she has an astounding recall of the origin story of each of these precious objects. Your father and I got this lampshade before you were born, she said, picking up the 6-inch tall, iridescent beauty. We got it from an elegant older lady on Capitol Hill. She points to a painting of a street scene in Africa. Oh, we got that on a trip to Philly. I told your father to follow the hand-lettered signs for the garage sale. He grumbled about it because we were late for a family visit, but I knew we would find something great there. These stories and all our other embellishments are woven into the trinkets my mother has given me. I can never be sure whether each story is true or invented, and I no longer care.